just put it private a second to check to see that it's all going to work. And that. Just check it's all working. It's all working. Just checking to see if it's working on live stream. 1 sec. Yeah, it's going. It's working. Just. Yeah. Right. See you over there, mate. See you. Hi everybody, welcome back to 100% Mag. So this is your match preview for the game against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park on Saturday, and I'm going to be joined by Jay from NUFC Talk on this live stream today. Of course, this is the first time I've done a live stream on the channel, so you'll have to bear with us on it, you know, because this is the first time I've actually done something like this on the channel. So like I say, we're going to be joined by Jay from NUFC Talk. He's also going to give his opinion on the game. Hopefully, there will be some Palace fans as well coming on. If there's any Palace fans watching and they want to join the stream, let us know in the chat. And, you know, you're more than welcome to come onto the stream. So we're just waiting for Jay, of course, to join the stream. And then we'll go from there. Hi, Jimmy.
How is it?
Welcome to the stream.
Aye. Took us a while, like it, innit?
What's your thoughts going into the game against Crystal Palace?
Crystal Palace. They're kind of stuck with them, not. They know how. I think we could beat them. We can get in this game strong. Get our heads away from the Arsenal game on Sunday. Just get back and rally.
I think we've got a very good chance against them, to be honest. You know, I think we've got a really good chance against them. They're not a bad side. They are only one place below it. So, to be honest, is it going to be another similar situation to the Arsenal game, do you think? Or do you think we've got a good chance of winning this time?
I think we have.
So you think that we could come away with a very good win in this one against Palace?
Yeah. Have a bit with one more season? Have a bit Palace one more season?
We won 1-0 against them with Almiron scoring the goal.
So the last time I played Palace was... I can check on my computer. Yeah, so get up for you. If I can get it up, yeah, look, that'll tell you. Yeah, I think we got them. I think we played them last time we won it was, so we've got to, but we can still beat them now. I think we could. We could get into this game, like I think we could beat them. Because our record against Palace, they are sitting. Well, they're sitting 14th at the minute.
Yeah.
So we could go up this game. I think we could beat them.
To be honest, Palace have been doing all right in the league. they're not
Yeah.
the best. If we look at obviously, you look like at the table, where they are on the table.
Sitting 14th.
Exactly. They're sitting in 14th place. They've got not a bad points, to be honest, not a bad amount of points. It could be better for them.
Yeah, it could be better for them, mate, because they have been, because they're not a bad side, Palace, but they're not the team for me that have been.
It's a strange game because, like you say, before we come live, you've got Wilfred Zaha. He's obviously going to be a big factor in the game for them.
Yeah.
He can possibly decide whether they win or lose in a game on any given day. If he plays at his best, then they can definitely come away with something out of this game. But if he's playing on a bad day, then is there much of a chance that he's going to come away with anything for them?
Yeah, I reckon we can get this game. Palace, over Zaha's and Pedro got. Zaha. So looking at it, it's going to be tough. Because Palace are good at home anyway.
Yeah.
So I reckon we can get in this game. Get into this game with Palace. Get out. We need to win it because we also couldn't beat Arsenal. We got done there at London. We need to win this Palace one straight now.
So, on talking about Crystal Palace,
right?
What kind of formation do you think they would have going into this game?
I don't know. I think they might go 3-3-2. Probably, or they usually play. Palace, so they might play the same what they played again. I think before the winter break. But Palace, they should go back. We should go formation we had last on Sunday.
Yeah.
Start with the same. Change it a bit. I would change it a bit from that weekend. We should change it a bit.
So they came out of their last game against Sheffield United, losing 1-0. The previous game before that, they lost 3-1 to Everton at Goodison Park. So obviously they're on a bit of a downer at the moment coming into this one. Do you think that's going to be a defining factor for Newcastle coming away with some kind of points from this game?
Yeah, I think we could get a win out of it. Yeah, go up to London, get a win, come back home happy.
So, touching on obviously talking about Palace and the match against Palace, their top goal scorer at the moment obviously is Jordan Ayew. Do you think he could cause much of a problem for Newcastle on Saturday?
Yeah. Big problem.
So what's your reasoning behind him causing problem for Newcastle?
He was at Swansea. He was at Swansea when he was at Swansea, so he's got a good foot on him. He's a good little player. So I think he's a good threat going forward. Like Jordan Ayew, he's a good little player. Mind, he's quite fast, but when he get past our defense, that's a problem.
So talking about, like you say, the defense, we'll get David's comment in a minute in the chat there. Talking about Newcastle's defense, obviously, we've talked about this quite a bit over on Lucas' channel when we were talking about the match preview over there for the Arsenal game. Would you say Newcastle's got one of the best defenses in the league?
I think we have, but we need to take Kieran Clark out and pitch Scott Sharon there instead of Kieran Clark.
Yep.
Play Fernandez Lascelles and Scott together play off the back three. Not Clotty, he played absolutely terrible on Sunday.
So, if you had to pick a Newcastle United team for this match going into this game against Crystal Palace, what would be your starting 11 and your formation going into this game?
I would play 4-4-2. I would play the back and net.
Yep.
I would say that I'll go 4-4. I think 4-4. Depends on what I don't know. Depends on what position. I'll go 4-4-4-5. Three up front. I always play. The back in goal. Defense, I would start left wing back. I would start that new lad in Milan again. He played brilliant.
Yeah.
I would play Fernandez, Lascelles, and Scott. On the left, I would take out Danny Rhodes, and I'll put in there. Put Richie in there.
Put Richie in for Rose.
Yeah, and for Rhodes, yeah, I didn't think Rhodes played a really good game on Sunday for me. Sorry. Midfield, I would start Mendelect again. Take us on Longstaff. He didn't have a really good game on Sunday for me. I will put in there. If Sarri's back, I don't know if he's back there. From injury, don't know about him. But I'll put a Hayden with him, with Mendelect.
Yeah.
On the right, on the left, I'm a St. Maximum again, and I'm on the right. In the middle, I'm sorry to say, but I have to guy like 40 pencil it. I mean, he's just done. He needs to get. I think he needs to get his head together like Linton. He needs to get things put away. Because on Sunday, I watched him Sunday. He wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, Joe Linton.
Yeah, 40 pence Linton. I can't call them.
Touching on Joe Linton, what do you think? Do you think he's worth 40 million, judging on
No,
what he's done?
I reckon he's worth about 10, 13 million, 13. I would say for him. Like he's not the player should bought for 40 million. Should have bought someone better for 40 million, but he's doing well, but he needs to score more goals. He needs that support. But if Andy Carroll was back, I reckon they should play too much fun.
Play two up front.
Yeah, someone working with Jonathan, like say like Gil or Andy Carroll or meet you. But we need someone. We need a striker, someone. But that's my team I'm going for. Like, but that's all I can say about the team. Really, that's all I'm going for.
My thoughts. My thoughts going into this game. I would go with the 3-4-3 formation, like we always play. I would go with a back three of Florian Lejeune, Jamal Lascelles, and Fabian Shaw. Obviously, Dubravka in goal. In the midfield, I would go with Lazaro onto the right wing back position. Centre, I would go Bentalab. Probably Sean Longstaff, because I think he's done really well. But for Sean Longstaff, I would probably play him in the number 10 role, with Bentalab playing in a more of a central defensive midfield role. And then on the left side, I would go with Danny Rose. I think Danny Rose has done pretty well since coming to the club. And to be honest, he does have fitness issues, but if you don't give him the game time, then I don't think he's going to get over them fitness issues. And as for the front three, I'd probably go with Almiron and Maximin, and then maybe Dwight Gale instead of Joe Linton. I just don't think Joe Linton's quite got the finishing touch yet for Newcastle. I don't think he's worth 40 million. Maybe about 20 million, and that's maybe being fair. You know, non offense to the lad at the end of the day, but I just don't think he's quite got the strength to take the Premier League at the moment. And, you know, that's something that is a big factor. And, you know, reading what Steve Bruce said recently, you know, on his last conference he had after the Arsenal game, he says that they've been having to tell Joe Linton to stay in the box. You know, when you're having to tell a 40 million striker to stay in the box, there's something seriously wrong there. You know,
I feel that one now. Like he needs to stop standing. He needs to run more. But we need something in summer, like in summer. Can you? We need a forward as well.
I think a good player for Newcastle would be somebody along the lines of, obviously we couldn't get him now because he's in Milan, but somebody along the lines of Lukaku.
Lukaku, yeah.
You back, mate?
Yeah.
Right. What I was saying is somebody like Romelu Lukaku would be a good signing for Newcastle. Obviously, we can't get him now, being that he's at Inter Milan. But he's got that strength, the power, you know, he's able to hold the ball up, bring it down. And, you know, he did quite well at Man U. And he's doing absolutely amazing out there in Italy at the moment for Inter Milan, one of my favourite teams as well to support. And, you know, I think he would have been an amazing signing for Newcastle, but unfortunately, like I say, we can't get him now. But let's touch on some of these comments, of course, because there's quite a few of them down the side. Let's go with 100% NUFC first. Sharky there. He's just saying, evening, lads. Hiya, Sharky, mate.
Right.
You want to join in the stream? Let us know in the chat if you do. Of course, Evertonian TV as well. He is asking, what is your score prediction going into the Palace game? Do you want to take that one, mate?
I would say 2. I'm going to say 3 Newcastle, 3-0 straight.
3-0 Newcastle. I will go with Newcastle to come away from this game with a 3-1 win. I'm pretty confident that we could come away with a win in this one. You know, we've done pretty well against Palace in the past, and I don't see why this would be any different, to be honest. Moving on to David's comment about the NUFC takeover.
Dead in the water, though.
I don't quite know at the moment about the Newcastle takeover. Sorry to say, David, but you know, I'm quite optimistic that it could be possible that it could go through. But you know, we've got to take everything with a small pinch of salt at the end of the day. You know, you never really know what's going to happen. What do you think about it, Jamie?
I don't know for me, but have we heard anything since that day? Have we heard now? Nah. I don't know. I would say it could have happened, but I don't know. If I hear anything about it, I'll let you know. But nothing for me, not.
Nothing for you. I'm quite optimistic. Like I say, I'm going to still keep looking on the net, you know, because it's optimistic. Is at the end of the day, you've got to be optimistic. You know what? It's the only thing that's left for it to do, to be honest, you know, as Newcastle United fans. Obviously, for it to be sold, it's going to have to be bought by somebody eventually, you know, so all these comments that you've seen online, like on Twitter, Facebook, you know, of Newcastle fans saying, oh, it's not happening, you know, fair enough if they want to have that opinion, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, everybody's entitled to having their opinion. And if there's some Newcastle fans out there that want to still believe that the takeover is going on, or, you know, want to have that belief, then fair be it. You know, at the end of the day, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But, you know, don't have people like Lee Ryder, you know, Luke Evans, and all that, you know, coming out on the social media and just downing any talk of a takeover, you know, just pouring cold water on it all the time. It's not going to help them for their reputations, and it's not going to help Newcastle fans neither for a takeover. Touching on another comment here, coming from Evertonian TV, do Newcastle miss Rondon?
Yes, I do. I miss the bugger. I met him as well. I met him last season before he left. I miss him a lot. We should have kept him. We didn't.
We really should have, if you think about it, because how many goals he scored for us last season. You know, he got, what was it, about 20 goals or something like that, I think it was last season. He scored for us.
He played
somewhere around that. I think it was somewhere around that margin, wasn't it? Of how many goals he got for us.
A lot. He has trying to put the 31 for his preview. Just popped up, I know.
What's that one?
Chalk is a preview for the game against Palace this weekend. Just popped up on YouTube.
I see it.
I'm watching too late on the night, so I'll watch it later
on. So basically, to answer Evertonian's question, yeah, Newcastle fans definitely miss Solomon Rondon. You know,
big miss.
Big miss, definitely.
Yeah, I miss Rondon. I wish he came back, but will he come back?
There's always a chance, because, you know, he's out in China at the moment. He's playing for Rafa's team, Dali Aifang, and there's always a chance, you know, with the way things are going on. There was talk of him coming on a loan from Dali Aifang to Newcastle. So, you know, you never know.
Yeah. Also, I met Rondon. I met him as well. I looked at him again. He's a lovely person. But do we miss Kennedy as well? Kennedy, what happened to him?
He went off to Getafe in Spain.
Yeah, he would do well on him. No, he would do well here. No.
He was okay the first season.
But what had him?
Getafe. Kennedy at Getafe was okay the first season.
He wants to come on. Mr. Strike wants to come over. Mr. Salty.
I'll send him it.
Yeah, get him in here. Get the mate, the Doherty lad in. Come and have I love Newcastle. I love you a lot, man. You make it's like, you know, welcome to YouTube, you know. And I think it's put my confidence back into it. My confidence back in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's put my confidence back in. I've got 110 subscribers. I mean, since I started, I don't know how I've got 110 but it's just been brilliant.
I did say that Solomon Rondon scored around 20 goals last season. I will correct that. It was actually only 11 goals last season that he scored for us.
What you got it wrong, didn't you?
I was quite a bit off that. So any Newcastle fans, of course, watching, you know, I do apologise. I just go with what I can go with, you know. Here comes Sharky.
How's going, lads? How's going? All right.
The main man.
All right. Didn't think you were live, mate. Didn't see you were live, so I thought come and join.
Surprised for you liking it.
Sorry, I had to do a preview, so I had to get me preview uploaded and stuff, so get it all tagged up.
I thought I'd do a live stream for the first time on the channel.
Hey, why not? That's the way of getting subscribers. That's the best way of doing it.
I've done it. In terms of Arthur vlog, so I've done pretty down.
It's the best way of communicating with our fans. That's what you do, you know what I mean?
I'm currently at 293 subscribers, I believe.
So you're only 70 away from 300.
Yeah.
I'm on
Anybody
So-
watching, get subscribing.
It's the best way to do it. Subscribe.
So,
What he's been talking about. What he's been talking about.
talking about the game against Palace. Thoughts going into the game against Palace, and also talking about the talk of the takeover. So
Palace, which were I don't know what you've said about Palace, but my thoughts on the game, I think it'll be an interesting one. I think both sides are under pressure. I would say because Roy Hodgson's side at this moment in time, I think mid-table for them is about right. I don't think Crystal Palace are a huge club. I think they'll take mid-table. But the problem that they have had this season is they haven't scored enough goals. Wilfred Zaha's only got 4. And I think the highest goal scorer is Jordan Ayew, and he's only got 6.
Yeah.
And then you look at us, we're no better. Our front three is just absolutely diabolical. Like, what is it, 2 goals between them? 3?
I think so,
enough.
yeah.
Not good enough. I mean, I don't know. It's the pressure's more on Crystal Palace because they're at home and they're a point behind us. But then at the same time, the pressure's on us because we lost 4-0 to Arsenal. And Bruce knows that if we lose this game, then Burnley, for me, will be the one at home where if he doesn't get nothing there, for me, they'll call for his head.
Yeah.
Simple as that, really.
It's got to be coming soon if you think about it for Bruce, because the pressure's getting on. He's starting to lose the dressing room, and there was talk of a bust-up after the Arsenal game, as well as Maximin, Atsu, I think it was Danny Rose, and somebody else was on the train coming back up. They got the train instead of a plane.
See, like, I understand from our fans' point of view that we actually want to see victories and that, but, like, it's all good going up to the players and saying, fair enough, it wasn't a good performance. Maybe hopefully you do better next time. Can I have a picture? That's fine. But when you get a bit personal with them, you got to remember it's not their fault that they're on the money that they're on. It's the agents that pay them. It's us, the customers, who go and pay them the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I wasn't expecting too much from Arsenal. I wasn't expecting 2 big sort of halves. I was expecting maybe the first half to get a goal, potentially sit in there. But if you're going 0-0 against Arsenal at half time and you've dominated, what's going to happen? They're going to, you know what I mean? Like the manager's going to come out and tell them to say, right, you're playing against a Newcastle side which are not as good as quality as what we've got. We need to be doing a lot better. And I think some of our fans need to realise, like, there's no point getting all personal about a result. At the end of the day, we've got to move on. Like 4-0, like if we'd lost 1-0, what can you do? We can't do anything about it. You know what I mean?
It's one of them games where we played amazing in the first half. We went in at half time. Whatever got at half time by Steve Bruce.
Has he gone?
Yeah, I think he's lad, but
has he locked out?
With Steve Bruce.
So
he needs to, yeah, I think Steve Bruce needs to help.
Are you there, Carl?
Yeah.
They need out. They need to.
I think, you know what? It's just like, for me, I wasn't even, like, this sounds daft to say, but I wasn't angry after the result. I kind of seen it coming. I said at half time, I thought, you know what it is, right? Because we haven't taken my chances, if we don't start the second half like we started the first half, I ended it, Arsenal are going to come out and attack with. And I kind of had that realisation that, like, yes, I know they're in the middle of the table and the squad isn't fantastic, but look at their quality of players. Anybody would snap up Aubameyang, Lacazette, Torreira, Ozil. We're competing with the likes of Joe Linton, Mutu, Andy Carroll. None of them for me are good enough. I don't think our strike force is good enough. It's not.
I think, to be honest, the only players that in our team are actually anywhere close to that stature is Maximin, Almiron. Them are the players that are closest to that.
But I put Shelby and Hayden there as well. I think they're very good midfielders on the day. I mean, you look at I think our defense is fine. I don't have any problem with the defense, but it's like our attack is absolutely horrendous. Like, for me, Joe Linton. I mean, I put Dwight Galen for me starter this weekend because I think I've heard that he could be back. For me, I want to axe Joe Linton. I think it's getting to the point now where, yeah, fair enough, he's playing him because of the price tag, but, like, look at that Haller for West Ham. He's cost exactly the same amount of money and they're dropping him because he's not playing good enough. Exactly. Yeah, I know they're not doing very well, but, like, you would take West Ham's quality over what we've got. Like, we're absolutely... The thing is, what's annoyed me more is we've spent all of the summer, prying over Rafa Benitez, and that's what Ashley's done. And he's had next to no time to get a striker in, and we're paying for it. The fans are paying for it through no fault of our own.
But that's the thing with Steve Bruce. He just in the last match, he complained about not having a striker, not having somebody that's able to score the goals. Yet in the transfer window, deadline day, he didn't bother going out and getting somebody. You know,
the only signing, right, I'm actually happy with, personally speaking, is actually Danny Rose.
Yeah. Danny Rose.
We needed a left back, but like Lazaro, I have no idea why we signed him, because this is a guy who wants us to fight for his place at Inter Milan. By the way, I support them, but they're like my favourite side, Inter Milan. But he's not going to get an Inter Milan side. I'm sorry, he's not. Like, look how good their side is: Lukaku, Sanchez, Moses, just to name. He's not getting in that side.
There's just so many big names.
He's not getting in. Like, the thing is, the first thing he said, it was through the papers, right? I don't like to believe the papers. He went, I want to fight for my place at Inter Milan. So that instantly tells me that he doesn't want to be here. So do you know what it is? I wouldn't say I don't like the guy, but for me, like, that performance against Arsenal just proved to me why I didn't want him to start with. Like, why we're signing players that we don't need? We needed a striker. Like, that was the top two priorities. Left back, which we should have got in the summer. Fair enough, that was rectified on loan, which we could replace Danny Rose if he does want to sign. But the striking situation is the one that's worrying me, because for me, Andy Carroll, right, I'll happily never see him again for another contract. He's too injury prone. Yeah, he assists. I get it. Mutu, not good enough. Dwight Gale, I'll keep short term at the end of the season. And then Joe Linton, for me, he's got till next January to do something. If we stay up next season, right, and he's doing the same next season, he's got till January, then he has to go out on loan. If Mitrovic is not deemed good enough, which he wasn't, then he's got to do the same. Joe Linton, I don't care how much he costs. Mike Ashley's got to realise now he's not going to get his £40 million anymore. He's lost that. He's not making a profit on him.
He'll never get that back now.
I will eat my clothes, right? If Joe Linton goes for £40 million, he's not. He's nowhere near it.
Are we eating cheese if he's gone?
I'm not really.
Sorry?
Are we able to cheese if Joe Linton gone?
I wouldn't really eat my clothes. I wouldn't really eat my clothes if I was that would be body. But honestly, the thing is, everybody's making excuses for him, like, oh, he's not getting the service. But like, if you don't do your striker role and you're too busy standing around in the midfield doing nothing, then how are we going to get any service to you? Like, Joe, there was a perfect opportunity. Was it in the first half against Arsenal? Alan Saint-Maximin had the ball on the left-hand side. He picked it up. He done all the hard work. He squared the ball across, and there was nobody there. Open goal. It was an open. There was nobody there. Like, the most relieved player on that pitch would have been Leno.
Even Joe Linton's in the Oxford game where he had the ball played in by Bentaleb, absolute sitter, and he missed it.
What have you made of Bentaleb so far? I think he's a bit. I think he's in pre-season here. Like, I don't want to go too hard on him.
He's coming to the Premier League again. He's coming to the team. I think he's settling all right, but he's done quite well.
I think he's been given a little bit of stick because he's been quite slow, but you've got to remember, this is his pre-season. He hasn't played all season. This is his pre-season. Like, every game he plays is pre-season.
I think he'll see the summer him because sign in the summer. If I wanted to, I'll keep him.
Do I really want him long term? The thing is, I question, right, in what we've got. Steve Bruce needs to be speaking more to the board. Like, I think what you were going to say about was Steve Bruce should have said a lot more to Mike Ashley. He should be speaking up. Like, if you need something to say it, like, I would. Like, look at Kevin Keegan. He walked in and he was like, I'm not working with this. I love Newcastle and that, but I'm not working with these players. Like, you're bringing in players that I don't even want. You're doing it to benefit you, not to benefit the squad.
But that's the main reason behind why Rafa ended up not being at way anymore and went off.
That still stands me today. Like, that, and I have people say you've got to move on from him, which obviously I have. But like, you look, there's nothing short of anybody remaining on about it. Like, oh, what happened to Rafa? The thing today, Rondon. Like, the thing is, what can we do about Rondon now? We'll have to move on from him. Like, I love Rondon to pieces, but what can we do? Like, he's not going to bring him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's never.
Mike Ashley's ruined it. He just ruins this. He finds any little thing to ruin the club. I'm like, we'll go on such a good run, or we'll have a good moment, and Mike Ashley be like, you know what, start this. Let's just let's make it worse.
It's like he sold Andy Carroll to Liverpool for 35 million. You know, and then you move on to just at the start of this season, you know, and Andy Carroll's coming in on a free.
What really frustrates me though, right? What about in the summer if someone comes in for Alan Saint-Maximin? you know what I mean? You stay there for a season. He's free to go where he wants after this. Like, he's on a contract, but if somebody comes in and offers something big money for him, do you think Mike Ashley's going to stand his way?
No.
That's
what worries me.
Yeah.
We're sell with best players. Like, I've seen it down the road before with Demba, Bark, Bai. Just name a few. It's just ridiculous. Like,
always happens.
It's just like
no.
Like, I never look forward to doing like match reviews half the time because like I try and talk about the game, but like there's no quality. It's just we're talking about the same situations which should have been addressed last summer. And I fair enough, January you don't have enough time, but like I said way back in the summer when I was talking to fans, like this stuff should have been addressed with either Rafa or Bruce in charge, but we should have had this sorted a long time ago. You left it far too late to get rid of Rafa, and then he's had next to no time to do anything.
It's like if you look at the players over the years, right, that Ashley's actually made profits of, what one or two of them you can kind of understand, you know, at the end of the day, like Sissoko, he was crap anyway, you know.
Didn't like his attitude.
So get 30 million for Sissoko, that's a good deal. But, you know, when you've got Andy Carroll, he's just scored, 17 goals or something in the Championship, you know, he's coming up into the Premier League. He's got the number 9 shirt. He's one of the best strikers at the time, you know, and he's getting sold off to Liverpool for 35 million. You know, fair be at that.
That was big, but that was a big deal back then because Torres was 50.
Fair be at that. You come along to now, right, and you're getting him back on a free. I bet you Mike Ashley absolutely love that, by the way, getting him back on a free. It was more
though, like you got to think about how bad the summer was. It was more to do like, let's get fans back on the seats again and let's just, get a legend back at the club. But like, what does Andy Carroll bring to our side? Yeah, he's got good heading ability. I get that. But like, he's injury prone. He's far too old. And we need to be attracting maybe young up and coming, Premier League strikers. Jarrett Bowen for me. Jarrett Bowen was my first up from the summer. I said right back in the summer, why doesn't he go for Jarrett Bowen? And then in the January apparently we weren't willing to offer what West Ham are offering. But hold on, like he's exactly what we needed.
Exactly.
And we'll just let it slip through our fingers. And like there's us on deadline day, like loanies, like why? Well, we're doing loanies. What's the point?
Hard. I miss in the team is Jetta Williams. I miss Jetta Williams.
I think he'll be back. That's why I don't mind Lazaro leaving, right? Personally, I would say right now I don't really want Lazaro, and that sounds really harsh to say, but I preferred Williams. So I thought Williams was fantastic. I thought he was an absolute solid brick wall.
I think he wants to come back. He wants.
I will. No, if the club had any sense, they would actually pay the 10. Is it 9.5, 10 million? Do it.
Yeah, he wants to come back. He came up with it in the field. He came up with it.
I think it's.
Who would you take? I mean, be honest. Just because I'm saying it, who would you take? Williams or Lazaro? For me, Williams straight off.
Williams is doing plenty.
I trusted him. I trusted him on the ball. Like fair enough. Yeah, his first game. Yeah, fair enough. He was at fault for the Arsenal goal at St James's, but since then he grew into the league. Though, like he's learning. You know what I mean? Like, he's a learner. But like the tackle against Chelsea was unfortunate.
To be honest, I don't think it was actually Williams' fault for the goal against Arsenal on the open day of the season. I think it was more along the lines of Steve Bruce and the coaching staff, because they didn't tell him where he was supposed to be playing. And that is why.
Do you think that's still a problem to do, though? Do you think that's a problem to do? It's still the same problem. Nobody knows what they're playing.
Exactly.
Where's Crap been hiding? We haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, that's a funny one. I've actually totally forgot. I've never said it. I've never heard anything from Kraft in the last month. Like I've never.
What Kraft? Where has he been? He's not been in the.
The thing is, I never understood that time. I think he was just like now when you got like a bit extra change and you want to go and get some sweets. That's literally what he was decided. Literally, if you want to go and get a couple of jellies from the shop, that's what he was. Just to spend the money, just to prove he's done something. Like what? He's championship quality. He's not good enough.
The one that was quite disappointing for me, and sort of upsetting in a way, was Javi Manquillo. He played absolutely sensational in pre-season, and
I want him.
Is he gone?
Yeah, I like Manquillo. I mean, he's a great player.
I'll be honest, I'm 50-50 with him.
But like this,
everybody back. Do we keep losing stream there?
Sorry, Carl. You said something about Manquillo, then it just cut out.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, Manquillo, he played absolutely amazing at the beginning of the season, like in the pre-season, and then when it came to the actual season, he wasn't getting many goals. That's something that you've got to look at, you know, and you've got to be thinking, why isn't Steve Bruce playing him when he was playing so good in the pre-season? You know, that just shows you how bad of a manager Steve Bruce is. You know,
he's just copied off Rafa, really. You look at the formation of it, the fact that the formation is diabolical. Like, why? The thing is, now I was listening to this West Ham fan the other day on his on the YouTube stream. And he told Hawkins, the guy who does the West Ham fan TV, he goes, Nicky Hawkins, that's him. Or like, you know, we're playing against Man City last night. Why are we playing all defensive, knowing that, you know, we should just be going toe to toe with them? Like, fair enough, I don't mind getting beat 6 or 7-0, right? If we've actually pushed them back instead of them pushing us back, like, why can't we just, like, why are we so scared? Like, that's Newcastle. Like, why can't we play attacking football? But Bruce is like, oh, but I don't want to play attacking football because the players aren't used to it. Oh, but then again, hold on, but in the National League or the League One, League Two, if they dare say to the manager, I don't want to play there, they'd be out the side. But because the Premier League and they've got luxury of what they want, I don't think that's particularly fair on the fans, because as fans, right, we want a team that tries. I'm not saying they don't try, but what I'll say is, I don't think we're attacking enough, and that's really annoying. Now, if we stay up this season with this squad, bear in mind, I like some of the players in it, but we are going to get found out big time next season. We will get. I think at this moment in time, we are currently getting found out how we're defending. We are getting found out. You could tell every game. We went into the Arsenal game, 8 games unbeaten. How did we go 8 games unbeaten when we were playing some of the worst football at that time? Oxford, absolutely horrendous. Rochdale, St James is fair enough. That was fair enough. But at Rochdale, they could have beat her. Who was it? Norwich. Out past her, they should have beat her. Norwich. Who's you've won? Chelsea. How on earth did we beat Chelsea? Like, they should have took their chances. Everton, how on earth did we come back and draw with them? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's what I mean. We get so lucky, but then at the same time, you've got to be lucky. But then I don't want that every single week. I want to see, you know, why can't we be a Leicester? Why can't they've spent next to no money? They've only done it recently because they won the league. But why can't we not build a side that is capable enough of actually doing something? Like, you watch where it's just like, defend.
The one main reason behind why we can't be a Leicester is Ashley. Exactly. It's always going to be the owner. You can't progress as a football team. You can't win trophies. You can't do anything if you're going to have a big, massive weight in Ashley around your neck. Look at the clubs that's profited off of Newcastle being under his ownership. You've got Chelsea. You've got Tottenham. You know, Liverpool. You know, Liverpool's only started to...
Liverpool are now the Barcelona now. Like, you can't stop them. You just live. You know, when Barca used to go, like... Now, when Real Madrid and Barcelona used to have their own, like, sort of seasons where they go, like, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons of beating you, you kind of beat them. That's now Liverpool. Like, City had their little moment, but now Liverpool are just... If they win the league, I think they'll win it the next couple of seasons back-to-back. I really do. They've got... The thing is, everyone was getting a bit of a ride when they lost 1-0 at Atletico, but you take Atletico to Anfield, that's a completely different game. They took Barcelona apart. But like I say, look at Newcastle, right? St James's Park, right? Once upon a time, used to be a fortress. Like, used to think, you know what, that's how we like get to Europe, or that's how, you know, we finish high in the league, you know, get good results at St James's. Now it's a case of the way we play so defensive, we're getting taken apart. Like, we're getting beat off teams off clubs that we shouldn't get beat off. Like, I'll go back to the game. Was it a turf moor? And fair enough, it wasn't a goal in my opinion. It was never a corner. But like, how do you lose against teams like that? At the start of the season, we drew with who was it? Brighton. We drew with somebody at Watford. How do you draw at home with these sort of clubs?
3-1 to Norwich down at Carrow Road.
That's what I mean. Like, I'll take a draw away from home against Norwich. That's fine. But at home, how do you lose? How do you draw against Watford and against Brighton at the time when they're absolutely horrendous?
Yeah.
I mean, Watford, I think they're getting back to where they should be, but they're just horrendous. But then we can go and beat Chelsea 1-0. You know, we can beat a Man United, for example, beat a Tottenham. That's what I don't understand about supporting Newcastle. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's typical Newcastle, because what it is Newcastle will always be the club that is the absolute underdog. Will always will be. Even if we got a mega rich takeover, we'll still be the underdog. Because do you think for 1 second having, say for instance, the PIF coming in, right, buying the club, do you think for 1 second that having that kind of owner is going to change anything for Newcastle?
Probably not.
You know what it is? The thing is, everyone says, yeah, he's wiped off the debts, and I completely get that. To be honest with you, right? I'd rather have bloody Gateshead's owner if that's the case. It makes me fucking better. I'd rather fucking start from League 2 if that's the case. If we get rid of that parasite out of our football club, I would literally do anything to get rid of Mike. The thing is, when you look at him, like, he just laughs. Like, I've been at games so many times, and he's like, it's like, you fat cunt, get out.
I've seen him in person.
You've seen him in person?
I've seen him in person, right in front of it. And he laughed. He was laughing and handing away season tickets for free to everybody. Not even Newcastle fans, just getting £500 season tickets for free to go to games. You know, and that is why we don't need him as an owner.
Well, that's how Mike Ashley's won. That's how Mike Ashley, right, won this season, right? Because you think about it, right? At the start of the season, what was the attendances? About 42,000 max?
Yeah.
There was the 10,000 missing, right? So basically, at the start of the season, it was the fans won, Mike Ashley nil, because no one was actually going, and Sky Sports were looking around and they were thinking, oh, there's loads of gaps. So Mike Ashley thought, you know what I'll do, right, just to make my business look a little bit better and make Newcastle look a little bit better on the TV. Because the fan, I mean, we're not going to sell them anyway, so I'll just give half season tickets out for free, and the fans will just snap up because it's free. And then obviously, what have the fans done? Instead of actually fighting against it and thinking, no, I didn't want your free crap. No, I don't. I want you out the door. Do you know what they did? They went straight and back. They went back on the numbers. And there you go. You know, for 52,000 every game, right? Fair enough. Next season, they might go back to 43,000. But the thing is, it's now gone from the fans won, Mike Ashley nil, to the fans nil, Mike Ashley won. Mike Ashley's now 1-0. Again, because with the fans can't keep away. Like, fair enough, I'm only boycotting the season, right? But I'm on about those who actually don't actually go, like, you know, the ones who just pick and choose. If you decide not to go, I'm not saying fans shouldn't go. If you want to go, you want to go. But the problem is, and the thing is, you're priced out of the game anyway. I think all we want is Mike Ashley just to leave. Like, just leave on your own accord and do something else. You know, you've got your Sports Direct. We don't care about your Sports Direct. I don't give a crap about your shop. You know what I mean? You don't think we walk around Sports Direct. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather go and shop with Judge. Sports Direct. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's ridiculous, right? How the thing is, it's the Premier League. He's making so much money from it. Like, he won't leave until we go down, and we've got to stay down for a couple of years. That's the way it's going to work. But I'm not. If you know that Liam Kemsley lad, I'm not him. I'm not going to be one of them where I'm like, oh, we'll have to do a Sunderland to go to League One. It doesn't work. No, not that far. Yeah. It's a case of if Mike Ashley, if we go down, right, if we start losing money, right, if we lose the parachute, because you get a couple of parachute payments to get back up. Like Villa had to go up there. They had to go up that last season, otherwise they would have missed out. If we don't go up in a couple of years, say we go down, then he'll leave because he's making no money.
He'd have to, if you think about it, because to be honest, Newcastle is the only thing that is actually keeping him alive. You know,
it's the fans. The fans feed him every week.
Yeah, it's the only thing keeping his business alive. Like, if you look at when he took over, right? He took over in 2007, right? As the owner of Newcastle. Now, if you look back, it's something I was watching today, right? About the financial crisis of 2007, 2008, right? If it wasn't for Newcastle United, right, and buying our club, Mike Ashley's Sports Direct would have ended back then.
It's because the fans used to go. Because the fans seen it, they were like, "Oh, there's a new owner. He looks alright. You know what? We'll start spending." You know, anyone really, to be fair, everyone's been to Sports Direct. Nobody really like coded on that it was going to be the way it is. Like, I went to Sports Direct the first time. I thought it was just a general sports shop. I didn't know too much about it. I think when he came in his own, I think you're kind of blinded when a new owner comes in. You don't know what they're going to do. So we're kind of coded on when it was like a season. I think when he'd been in for like a season and then everyone just stopped going. That's when everybody coded on not to go to Sports Direct. They wanted rid of him. Then the minute Kevin Keegan walked out, that's when they knew there was problems. That's for me that's where it all started, when Kevin Keegan decided to walk away and Mike Ashley wasn't interacting with the fans no more, because he used to sit in with the fans, he used to drink, he used to get off his head and that, didn't he?
Exactly, that was the whole.
Now it's like stick your fingers up at the fans, laugh at them, and when things are going wrong at St James's Park, instead of backing the support that you've got behind you at your ground that you own. You're laughing at her. You're laughing at like one of the most passionate supporters around. We'll travel home and away. Remember, I'm not being funny, right? We would probably go to the bloody jungle away on a Monday night. Yeah, it means I can't that far. That's how good we are as fans. But Mike Ashley doesn't say it like that. He takes advantage.
Exactly.
How would you ask me a question? How would Mike Ashley react, right? If we had like if we were like a Coventry or something like that, who had next to no support, it would start dwindling. How would he still be here? I don't think he would. I think I'd take off. If he's seen at St James's Park in the Premier League that we were only getting like 15,000 capacity or something, plus their supporters, right, or 20,000, he'd be away. He'd be away. He's not making enough money.
Exactly.
So
it's such a strange one, to be honest. So talking about obviously Mike Ashley, as we always do. What do you think, Sharky, about the takeover in PIF?
I've always said that I'm against it. I don't think it's going to happen. Personally, I want it to happen, but the reason why I say no, and I don't mean it in a harsh way, is you've got to remember, like, we've been down this road so many times before. Like, you know, we had it with obviously the Crown. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. It might happen. I don't know. But the way I look at it is I like to be grounded. I kind of keep out the road of it a little bit now. Like, I look at the last one, which was Sheikh Bin, whatever, the Bin Zai group, that's them. That never came through. We've had Amanda Slavey on her own come through. We've had Peter Kenyon come through. We've had Bill Gates come through. We've had all these people, and nothing's like come of it. I don't know if it's because they haven't got the money, or Mike Ashley's bumping the price up, or he's not bothered. The thing is, our board don't speak to us, so we don't actually know anything. Like, how do we know where they stand?
Exactly, don't know anything.
You know what I mean? Lee Charnley, he's disappeared. Is he there?
Well, lucky again.
How far did he get?
You were talking about Bill Gates.
So got to Bill Gates, right? And the thing is, nothing's like ever come off. That's the reason why I don't kind of agree with him until I see it in black and white, or see someone holding a scarf up. The thing is, the reason why, like, we don't know anything because, like, our board don't actually talk to us. Our board have never. We'll get maybe two statements a season, one at the start and one at the end, about, oh, thank you for your season, and then at the start of the season, please renew your season tickets now. Like Lee Charnley says next to nothing, right? Mike Ashley obviously controls them. Mike Ashley says nothing. I can't remember the last thing he actually said about Newcastle. Must be 3-4 years ago. But the thing is, with Mike Ashley, right? How do we know if these bids from these people are legit, or if Mike Ashley's upping the price, or if he doesn't want to sell, if he's not interested? That's a hard question to answer because we don't know where we are as fans. Like, we're literally in the dark over everything that we see at this club. We go to the games, we back the lads, and then we have a drink with supporters, or we sort of just go home and be in joy or be in sort of anger if something's gone wrong. But, like, we don't know anything from the top. I wish that our board would talk to us. Like, I wish our owner would come out and say something. Like Lee Charnley, if something's gone on behind the scenes, why can't they just assure us? Like, they didn't even come out with a statement or anything like that to say, oh, there's no takeover or whatever. Like, why? That's why these papers, I don't know, like, I'm very 50-50 with them. Like, I'm like, the first thing about that Crown Bins, when everyone was talking about it, I thought it's not going to happen. No, I'm not. Newcastle don't do anything straightforward. I'm not ruling out that there's not going to be a takeover in the summer, but it's always the case with Newcastle. Every single window, they try and distract us away from the main priority, which is to get players in. And you think, how you notice now, since the window's closed, it's quieted down.
It has quieted down quite a bit. But I do think that there's got to be some sort of credibility to it because, you know, the Crown Prince did come out when he was being linked to buying Man United. He did come out and say that that wasn't happening. He wasn't buying.
I hope you're right. Honestly, I hope you're right. I mean, whatever you're saying, I hope this is right. I mean, the quicker we get him out of our football club, the better. But, like, it's just the same it's the same thing every week. Like, same season, nothing changes apart from there's a new story of a takeover. You know what I mean? Exactly. We'll have a Chinese takeover soon. You know, it'll be the Polish takeover.
Chinese again? No.
It's just like, the thing is, it's like anything. It's like waiting for him to leave. It's just, you know, is he going to tell me when he's leaving? He's going to leave out the blue. I don't know what you think, Jay. What do you think of the takeover? I don't know if we have your opinion.
Well, I think they're not going to have it. I think it's just going to be one of them things, isn't it? One of them stories again.
I always just say, like, and I would say, watch this space. That's all you can say.
Sky Sport,
yeah.
Nothing from January. But the what's going on with them?
It's not that though. Like, all the money that we make from the TV rights, Mike Ashley just swallows it up. The thing is, he's like that little kid, the quickie, that that little gambler. Once he's got the money, gone straight to the bandits. Like we don't get that. we get the change. We literally get like the 25% change of what we should have got. Do you know what I mean? Like you look at our windows. I can't say he's done awful in the last couple of years, but look at the players that we're signing, like Joe Linton. When we got him, personally, I wanted Rondon. I said from the start, if we get rid of Perez, do not let Rondon go, and then let him leave. They didn't re-sign his contract. Joe Linton's, when I look at someone's stats, I don't go off YouTube, I look at what they've done at the club.
Yeah.
Joe Linton's a prime example of this season. Everywhere he's been, including Hoffenheim, he hasn't scored double figures.
Exactly.
He scored, and how many goals has he got for Newcastle in the Premier League this season?
1.
2. Or 1.
He got one in the FA Cup, but in the Premier League, he's only got 1 in that. For me, that's not good enough. That is not good. That is not Premier League level.
That was against Tottenham.
Thing is, if you're Joe Linton scoring 1 goal all season for Liverpool or Man City or Chelsea, one of them top 4, you get lynched. You'll get lynched by your fans. He's quite fortunate in a sense that we kind of know where we're at. With Mike Ashley, we know that we're a mid-table club and we can kind of, we know that others have got to chip in. But if you're that striker at Liverpool, for me, you're on that bench and you're not getting off that bench until you do something.
To be honest, I think Joe Linton reminds me sort of similar to Firmino at Liverpool.
Oh, when he first sort of signed and he wasn't that good.
Yeah, he's that sort of player. He's got the talent. You can see he's got the talent, but he doesn't quite want to use the talent. You know what I mean?
He's not really a number 9, though, is he?
No, he's not really a number 9. He's more like a number 10 kind of player. Like just sitting behind the attacker and not really.
Hey, Max, I don't know how long you're streaming for, but I think Peter's just sent us a message. I'm going to stay in it. Have a look in the comments. You might want to talk. You might want to be in the chat. I don't know how you can. I think you can get it 4 people. Has he sent anything?
So there's no comment in the chat. Like,
all right, just leave it then. I thought he was just in case he's trying to get in touch. That's fine. But what were you saying? Go back to you said Joe like Firmino and stuff.
He's sort of like Firmino in the fact that he's like it's just the way he plays. He comes across as that sort of player.
Not quick, is he? He's more like a winger, isn't he? More like a winger.
Fast. He's got you can see he's got some sort of talent, but it's not like amazing talent. Definitely not 40 million worth in my eyes.
I know exactly why Newcastle have paid the £40 million. They're thinking, we don't want to get looked upon as greedy. What we'll do is we'll just show to the world that we can actually spend money. So we'll spend 40 million. We'll not spend too much, but we'll spend a realistic amount just to prove to the world that we can actually spend money. And the thing is, whoever brought him in have actually done their research, because if they had, then this scout needs sacked, because for me that's wasted money. Like, we could have paid, I know it's all ifs and buts now, but we could have paid the 16.5 million to West Brom for what's his face, Rondon, right? And then you've got You've got 23 million left over. Oh, hold on, 2016. You got 24 million left over of the 40 million that was spent for Joe Linton. You could get another striker for that. For 24 million left, you could get another striker. You get a left back. Doesn't matter who it is, a left back, and you could possibly get another winger in. That's where we messed up. It's not difficult. Why do we make things so difficult for us? That's what I mean when I watch. Why do we make things so difficult?
To be honest, if you look, it's like Joe Linton, right? We paid 40 million for him, right? You could have easily added an extra, maybe 20 million or so onto that, and got a proven goal scorer from the Premier League, somebody like Jamie Vardy, And
I said Danny Ings at the time. I called him. I said, Joe Bowen from Hull, take a risk on him. He's not going to be anywhere near 40 million. He's from the Championship, but he's up and coming. You can see he's scoring over 17, 20 plus goals for Hull, right? And for me, he need to make that step up. I don't mind him not having a very good season coming from the Championship. I understand, but that he needs to make that step up. We're not top 10. So from the Championship, you kind of go from the Championship to the bottom end of the Premier League, and you work your way up like Vardy did for Leicester. Obviously, he's done it at one club, but some players move themselves up. But you look at Joe Linton, he's just he's been tried and tested. We've took a gamble on him, and he's just a bit like Mitrovic. We took a gamble, but didn't pay as much. And look what happened to him. I got called deluded, right, for saying that Mitrovic wasn't good enough. I said he was Championship quality, but what happened to Mitrovic? We got relegated to the Championship with him. Fair enough, he banged the goals in. He's Championship quality. He came back up. But did Rafa keep him? Rafa didn't keep him. He sent him to Fulham. He went to Fulham, Right, he got them promoted, fair enough. He's too good for that championship. But what happened to Fulham last season? Straight away relegated. He didn't do enough. And he's doing all right in the championship. But that's the problem with us at the minute. Like, I don't want to put Joe Linton in that category. But if he continues in that form, for me, he has to go. I will say, in the January of next year, if he does not perform next season, regardless of where we are, he has to go on loan. He has to.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say we're selling him because we're not going to make any money back off him. If not, we'll sell him for half of what we paid for him. We might even get about 50 million if we're lucky. That's being nice. But for me, we'll have to make him test himself maybe in the championship. Can he do it in the championship? If he can't, then you know where you're at.
Exactly. If he kind of do it in the championship, then that definitely proves that he's not worth 40 million.
Don't get us wrong. I feel a little bit sorry for him because I think it is. We're putting pressure on him because of the price tag, and he's a number 9. The thing is, the number 9 these days, it's no longer it is an iconic shirt number, but it's getting tossed about like it's no tomorrow. Like, look at all these strikers that have been given it, right? It should be a privilege, right, to wear that number 9 shirt. If we deem a striker not good enough to wear it, it should be rested until we find somebody who's done well enough in the league to wear it.
It's like, you know what I mean? When Joe Linton came to the club, when he signed for the 40 million, right? If it even was 40 million as well, by the way, because that sounds
Mike Ashley's probably not even paid anything.
Yeah, that sounds kind of sketchy for a guy that doesn't seem to score many goals.
He's frustrating to watch.
When he came to the club, it said on the NUFC website, in an interview, that he actually wanted the number 9 shirt. He wanted to prove to Newcastle that he could be worth that price tag that's been put on.
Well, the club need to stand up for themselves and say, well, no, it's a coveted shirt. Like, if we don't deem you good enough to play for number 9, we'll give it a rest, and maybe we'll give you a shirt number by all means. But if you can perform this season, we can have it next season, no problem. But like Rondon, I thought, first of all, why are we giving it a Rondon for? Like, he's only out on loan for the season. But then, to be fair, he deserved that number 9 shirt. Look how well he played. He got double figures. Well, the thing is, right, we've scored 1 goal with Joe Linton all season. And fair enough, the pressure is there because the rest of the strikers aren't up to it. Like Andy Carroll, for me, hasn't scored. Mutu hasn't. Well, he scored 1 against Leicester, didn't he? But not good enough. But then you look at Dwight Gale. Bless him, he's been injured. I kind of feel a little bit sorry for him. But he's been made a bit of a scapegoat because he's been at West Brom. And if I still believe short term, Dwight Gale will be okay till the end of the season. Don't know if you agree. Just till the end of the season. But Joe Linton is on his own because the thing is, we haven't got anybody else, and that's why the pressure is on him, right? And you think about it, right? This is what scares me the most. Last season, right? Perez, and you might know Marks a bit more, but Perez and Rondon both got, was it 23, 24 goals last season?
Both.
Is Mark Soler?
I know.
No, but was it Perez? Perez got like 13 goals and Rondon got 12 or something.
Yeah, I think he got 9, I think.
And now in between them, they've only got 3 goals. That's scary, that.
Is he back?
Did you catch that? Did you?
Where, what were you saying?
Did you catch that? Did you?
You were saying about Perez.
About Rondon and Perez's goals you were saying on how many they had scored.
Yes. So basically, they've got like 24. Well, it was 23, 24 goals come the end of the season. They both obviously got double figures. But then you look at like what we've got now, and like they've only got like 3 goals between them. That's 3 goals to 25 of last season. Like, for me, does that not scare you? That's not scare you. Like, I don't know how we are mid-table.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people say we've fluked the season. I wouldn't say we've fluked the season in a sense on results. I think it's because the Premier League this season is poor. The standard this season is poor. You take right Liverpool out the equation. Everybody else can beat everybody else because of all our poor seasons. Look how far Liverpool are compared to second place and third place.
Exactly. Liverpool's got such a points difference. It's just beyond joke.
Thing is, Norwich, you know what? I'm not even laughing at them, but they're bottom of the league because I knew that they were going to be rock bottom somewhere because they've come from the Championship. They spend within the means. They know that they're only short term. They know they don't spend enough money. But like you look at the quality in the Premier League now, it's not the same anymore. Like it's everybody can beat everybody. Do you know what I mean? Like we're mid-table because everybody else around was crap as well.
Exactly.
But you look at that squad that we've got. Is that worthy to be in the Premier League? Well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what .
I wouldn't say it is worthy, to be honest. The defense, maybe, the odd player like Maximin,
Call me unrealistic, but I'd love to see Newcastle just go up there and spend a bit more on better players. Like recognise players. Like don't be scared to go and pay like 20 million for Çalhanoğlu or something from bloody Bayer Leverkusen or wherever he plays now. But like we were linked with him at one point. Was it Alcázar from Borussia Dortmund? He ended up going to Sevilla or something like that. Why did we go for him? Like it beggars belief because you think Joe Linton he needs support. You know, what I mean, if you got someone next to him, offer him a bit of support. Maybe if you bought somebody for £20 million, just half of what we paid for Joe Linton, just to give him that little bit more support. I mean, if Joe Linton's got less pressure on him, that means we're going to perform better. He's going to score goals.
It's like, to be honest, right? If you actually look at the Jose Perez deal to Leicester, yes, we got 30 million right for Perez, but was it worth it? Because, you know, from the moment he came to the club in 2014, right, we barely paid anything to get him at the club, fair enough, right, and we ended up making 30 million. But he was at the club from 2014 to the start of this season. In that time, he played 179 games and got 49 goals for Newcastle United. He's a goal scorer, a proven goal scorer. The 30 million what we got for him to go to Leicester isn't even worth what he would have been worth in about 3 to 4 years' time.
So he would be worth more?
Yeah, he was still very young. When the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid was sniffing around to try and get him to their clubs when we were going and signing them in 2014, proves what kind of potential he had.
Look who Barcelona just got now, Braithwaite. They've got no striker. He played for Middlesbrough, right? You're thinking, he couldn't even hack the Championship, and now he's getting his dream move to Barca. Like, how does that work?
Exactly.
The thing is, I know what you say about Perez. My only kind of way that I'll take the £30 million was because he was sort of a half-season player. Like, he'd be really bad at the start of the season, but you turn it on at the end of the season, the guy's move. That's exactly what he's doing. The thing is, fair play to him. The thing is, right, this time, I'll actually say, fair play to him if he wants to go to Leicester and win things. Like, if we have no ambitions of winning stuff, what's the point keeping them? Thing is, I love Newcastle a bit and that, but if Newcastle aren't going to do anything, you know, if we're just going to stagnate every single season and get rid of our better players, appoint managers who are like no better than what we already had previously, then I'm sure the first thing is what made it even more easier for Perez was the fact that Rafa had left. It was easier for him to leave. He's leaving a good manager to another very good manager.
For Jose Perez, it was kind of like, you look at it from an aspect of like Rafa Benitez was kind of a father figure to Jose Perez. You know, don't get us wrong.
I don't think he's going to win like a Premier League for Leicester. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think they'll win Champions League, Leicester. But I think if Leicester, he's got a very good chance of winning a League Cup or an FA Cup. Something we don't do very well in. Yeah, we've done well this season, but like, how far can Bruce take with? Would be surprised if it wouldn't surprise me if it ends against West Brom. Wouldn't shock us at all.
To be honest, none offence to any Leicester fans if there's any of them watching, which I don't know if there will be, but if there is any Leicester fans watching, I do apologise. But, you know, I don't think Leicester will ever win the Premier League title again. You know,
to be honest with you, I don't think they'll be bothered. They've already won it once.
Yeah.
Once, that was enough. I mean, if Newcastle win the Premier League just once, I'll shut up for the rest of my life. I'll shut up.
I think, to be honest, it's kind of like Blackburn. You know, they've won it that one time. They're never going to win it again.
Honestly, I keep saying, you know, I support Newcastle United. Will I ever see we'll lift a trophy? But the way things are going. The thing is, my question is, will I ever see Newcastle in Europe ever again? That's not even Europa League. Like, will we ever get Europa League, Champions League? Or we're just going to sit here every single year talking about mid-table and why we've been relegated from the Premier League due to that parasite at the top, not having a clue what he's doing.
Are we still going to be sitting here in, say, 2030, 10 years' time from now?
Yeah.
Always
nothing is going to change. That's a problem. Nothing will change. What will happen is, right, there'll be more sports. Thing is, the seats, right, will have Sports Direct stickers right on top of them. There'll be more Sports Direct. Yeah, man, at the minute outside the ground, there's a skip. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
There's a skip, right? At first I'm thinking, what's that doing there? It must be for Mike Ashley's stuff. At the minute, they're hiring fridges, freezers, all this good stuff out. Why is there a skip outside of the club shop making our stadium look at an absolute stain? Like, you look at our stadium now, it needs work.
There's a skip
You go to the next game. What's the next game? Is it Burnley next week? If it's still there, I should have took a picture. There's a blue skip right outside. I don't know if you passed it, Max. There's a blue skip right outside. You can see it.
It's like they've done a lot of work outside the stadium. Like they've painted the walls.
Should have been done 13 years ago, though. That's a problem. That's what really annoys me. Like all this is getting done now. People say, is it for him to get the club sold, to make it more better? But like you can do as much as you want around the front, but the whole stadium needs done outside. You look around the east stand, around the Gallagher. It'd just be nice if you give it a lick of paint. You know what I mean? If you have to black walls around the whole stadium, that's what we'll have. You know what I mean? If you want to turn St James's Park into a prison, that's what we'll do. Just make it a little bit better than what it is. No, I don't want. There's a bit right. There's a bit on level 7. It's still got the EFL stickers on from the Championship days. What the heck? EFL. We're not in the AFL. Actually, I talk about the EFL, Mike Ashley. You might as well keep them there because we might be there next season. So just in case something goes wrong.
Good.
I went to the toilets in the Gallagher stand, and they still had. I'm talking like just recently, and they still had a Christmas.
Rochdale or Oxford?
The Rochdale one. And
Rochdale.
They still actually had a advertisement up for Christmas party from 2017. 2017. We are
and this is the sort of ownership that we've got. This is what we've got to put up with every single week. Like the absolute parasite who has no idea how to own a football club. He just uses it as a business point of view. And I don't care what anybody says. Like, we've been made scapegoats as fans, and that's exactly what we've been made. You look at the players that we've signed. I think, right, if Mike Ashley hadn't have bought Newcastle and somebody else had have, I reckon, I mean, you kind of say this and that, but I reckon we'd be a completely different club.
It's like back when Mike Ashley bought the club, right, the owners of Man City were actually wanting to buy a club in England. They were actually looking at Newcastle as the club. I think the reason behind Ashley buying the club was maybe the financial crisis was coming. He wanted to try and find a way to try and survive. He bought the club, and then he wanted to try and quickly offload that club to them, right, and get that money off of them. But then he did all that stuff with Jimenez, and
he's had some right idiots in that background. Though, look, all the people he's employed. Yeah. Think of other names like Dennis Wise and that. Like, why would you even let those clowns anywhere near our football club? Like, they're not associated.
You had Dennis Wise, Tony Jimenez, Keith Bishop. Alien
lookalike Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. When I see Lee Charlie and Mike Ashley, the first thing that comes to mind when I see them is always Star Wars, Jabba the Hutt, and that little red thing, that little red creature at the side of him. Mike Ashley is Jabba the Hutt, and Lee Charlie's that little red creature at the side. Just
he's just ready for his moment, isn't he, Mike Ashley? Yeah. The thing is, though, right? You've seen him in the FA Cup. Was it against was it Oxford? He's just dead. Like what? Why, mate? And I he's from London and Cambridge, wherever he's from, right? But why even turn up? Why turn up? Like, thing is, if you've got no ambition for Newcastle and you own the club, why turn up? You know what? You might as well just run it from your bloody back garden, right? And then just turn up whenever you feel like it, because that's the way you do it. Like, why are you choosing FA Cup games when if we would have Blackburn or something away in the third round, you wouldn't even turn up? You only turned up because it's a replay against the bloody League One side, and that we're probably going to get through anyway. You're going to get the TV money in that. That's the only reason you've turned up. You wouldn't have turned up if it had been the third round, though. You wouldn't have turned up.
Exactly.
Honestly, Mike actually makes me sick. He really does.
Right, let's have a look at some of these comments. We've got a comment here from Arsenal Vlogs, Luca.
What is the one?
He's saying, how's 4-0? Laugh out loud, only joking.
4-0, like, the thing is, what can we say, though? Like, we got beat by a better side.
Exactly, what can he say? He had got me another day now.
The thing is, you've got to play against, I know Arsenal on top 6, but you've got to play well, right, for a full 90 minutes, not half an hour, 45 minutes, like we have done all season. You've got to play well for a good 90 minutes, and we don't do that.
Arsenal, not the team what they have been.
Oh, no, they're not, but they've still got quality, though. You know what I mean? You've still got to... the thing is, against Arsenal, you've got to perform, right, for 90 minutes. You can't afford to switch off at any time. The problem is, right, we think we've won the game after half an hour, 45 minutes. Football doesn't work like that. If you play FIFA, right, you haven't won at half time, you still got to play the 90 minutes.
Exactly.
That's the thing. The thing is, all right.
Yeah.
The thing is with us against Arsenal, we know that they're not the same team that they used to be, but we know they've got quality. If you have any realization of watching football, you'll know that all in all they've got a better side. We don't have that quality, and who's to blame? Mike Ashley, of course, and Steve Bruce, for me, partially needs to take the blame for not speaking up.
So we've got a comment here from Luke Nicholson, and he's saying, would you take Adam Lallana from Liverpool?
Do it. The thing is, do it. You know what? If we can keep Shelby, I would say no.
I would say that as well, to be honest.
Because we don't need the thing is, we don't need midfielders. We need strikers. That's the thing is, though, right? Trust me, right? How many strikers are we going to have in the summer? Because for me, I think Gale will be gone. He'll go. They'll get rid of him, right? Because he's injury prone, and they'll get a bit of money from him. Mutu, for me, is deemed not good enough. He'll be out the door. If he gets another contract, I don't know how long he's got left. But if he's still here next season, I'm going to be shocked. Doesn't get a game, I don't know how. And Andy Carroll, for me, right? There's a clause in that contract to give him a new one. Don't give him a new contract, right? We've got Joe Linton, right? We need another 3 strikers. We need to promote other strikers in. Midfielders is not what we want right now. We've got enough. If keep Bentaleb, if we say we keep him, fair enough. But the strikers are the ones where we need to focus.
These are the players that are going to be out of contract.
Go on, read them out.
At the end of this season. Andy Carroll.
Good.
Jack Colback.
Done.
Caldolo.
Done.
Rob Elliott.
Done.
Federico Fernandez.
I
would keep Fernandez myself.
If we can get him a new deal, but if he wants to go, though, if he's not getting enough football, then goes with my best wishes. I think he's been a good servant to the club.
And then you've got Matty Longstaff and Javi Manquillo as well.
Manquillo, to be fair, do you know what? I'm 50-50 with him. There's been times where he's played well. You mentioned he'd done well at the start of the pre-season and that, but thing is, we can still go out and get better though with Newcastle. We should still believe that we can go out and get better. I do like the guy, don't get us wrong, but if we get a good deal for him and we don't renew his contract, then sometimes you just got to let them go and say goodbye. You know what I mean? Thanks for your services. Let's go and bring somebody else in. That's what I like. I like new players in the club. You know what I mean? I feel like we're talking about the same old Deadwood every single season. I'm not saying, I think Manquillo, he got his big move from a small club in Sunderland to Newcastle, but it didn't quite work out for him, unfortunately. Do you know what I mean? And I think Manquillo, I'd happily let him go and bring somebody else in. Matty, I have heard Jonathan was telling me apparently he is looking at new clubs. Apparently Newcastle aren't willing to give him a new contract. So if that's true, then he goes with my best wishes.
That's the sickener for me, to be honest, because, looking at Matty Longstaff.
Good lad, potential. Good lad.
Got the potential. He's got the potential to be something absolutely amazing. Just looking at the way he played against Man United and the way he's played in the other games, right? He's definitely got the potential to be a world-class player.
Yeah.
Kind of like Paul Scholes sort of player, he's like that sort of player.
The thing is, though, do you know what it is? So you have got money bags on the background. If he sees a bit of money from another club, though, he's going to sell him, isn't he?
Yeah. But he's not going to make that money. If
the problem is, though, the thing is, you look at it both ways, though. Like, it might be a case of Newcastle, are offering him a contract and they're offering him so much a week. And his agent might be saying, hold on, Matty, though, you're a good player. I know you're a local lad, but somebody at another club might offer you more money. And that might get you a little bit, you know what I mean? And it's a case of, if he goes, I'd be gutted, but we haven't seen enough of him. That's a problem. You'll go me, but the thing is, we can't keep everybody. That's a problem. I mean, Sean, for me, I think I still like Sean. Sean, when I go to the under-23s, he knows us. He knows I do YouTube. I talk to him all the time, and I've got a lot of time for Sean. And when he has bad games, fair enough, they get criticism. They all do, but you never get personal with somebody you never talk about their life and stuff like that. But Sean, I will be patient with Sean. I will. I know he's not had the best season, but I will stay patient, and I'm a big believer in Sean. I still think he's got a real potential at this club. But the problem is, the thing is, we've got too many midfielders. That's the problem. One of them, somebody in the summer is going to get sacrificed. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Somebody. You've got a 25-man squad, right? And the thing is, if Bruce or whoever the new manager is next season, let's say we go that far, they might want a striker with a bit more quality, a bit more experience.
Here's another comment from Luke Nicholson again. Have you heard of the player we've been linked with, Sissoko, 21 years old?
Is this guy who we were going to pay about 40 million for and he turned it down last minute?
I think it is. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know if it is. Let's just not go down that route. Personally, it wouldn't really interest me. I don't know too much about him. You know what? I think personally we need to try and stick within the Premier League. If we're going to go for somebody, we need to stick within the Premier League or someone who's sort of like not too expensive, but like a medium name, like something like a medium type player, like not someone who's what I've got enough for. But I don't want like the strike that we've got at the minute, because you look at that strike, that's not good enough. Like, you know, nobody would be safe with Joe Linton, Mutu, Andy Carroll, and Dwight Gale. That for me is not good enough.
It's not that player. Is it? I believe it might be Musa Sissoko. I think it is.
Don't want him back. Didn't want him back. Didn't want him back.
You're not him here. He's French. He's 22.
The thing is, you look at what we've got at the minute, though. It does not remind you of like last season we had Perez, we had Rondon, and we had like 20 plus goals on my side. But this season we've only got 3. Isn't it like saying we're going to the quid shop because of what we've got and what we've currently had before? It's literally like, you know what? We're not going to improve the players that we've already lost, but we might go to the quid shop and see what we can get. Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll go get Joe Linton in, but we'll just pretend that he was 40 million. We'll just pretend. But really, we've only paid 10 million or something for him.
Another player that Luke Nicholson is saying that he wouldn't mind seeing at Newcastle is James Ward from Southampton.
Oh, James Ward Pros.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take him. He's good. He's good. He's a great finisher on a free kick. Seen some of the free kicks he scored.
Yeah,
he scored a couple of worldies. He scored a couple of worldies this season, if I'm not wrong. Definitely.
But if they go down, would he stay? Would he go?
Depends how much. I think some players would stay for Southampton because they've got a structure there. That's the problem. Like, I know they're getting beaten 9-0 and stuff, but the thing is with Southampton, they've got why I respect Southampton is they've got a structure of how they go about their side. Like, they know they're not a big club, but they know that they spend within the means. And Southampton, like Aston Villa, well, if they go down, they've got a couple of years of parachute payments from the Premier League, so they're still on Premier League wages. But Southampton are a decent club, big club. Like, something tells me I don't think they'll go down.
He's 25 years old. He's 25 years old, so he's quite...
That's what we need, though. Like, we need players at their peak.
Mm-hmm.
Not too inexperienced, but players like hitting that peak 25. For any sort of player is good. We need players at the peak. I was quite shocked to realize how old Dubravka was when we first signed him. I thought he was like 21 or something. Don't use it. I'm like, what?
He's been there since the youth days. He's been there since.
I know what you mean. Like, if Southampton step up, is he going to make this? The thing is now, is Newcastle a step up the way we are? Is it really a step up? Like, if we're currently top 10 and they're like middle of the table, maybe, but we're not consistent with where we are in the league. Like, one season we might have a mad season and finish 5th, and then the season after that we'll end up finishing 16th because we're mental. That's how we work. Like, it's the Mike Ashley way. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what's going to happen.
Would you take from Norwich and not going down?
Who?
Pookie from Norwich.
Pookie. I don't think he's proved it in this Premier League. Like,
I wouldn't take him personally. No, I do feel sorry for him because he hasn't got enough quality around him. But no, because I want someone who's like a bit more. I want someone who's like. I want someone who's going to score more than like 50. I want someone who's going to score 15 goals a season. That's what I want. Obviously, Pookie's done it, but my only worry about him is he's getting on a bit now. Though he's been around the Championship, he's been around the Scottish League. I want someone who's playing for like Bournemouth or something, who needs that step up. I'm playing in a bigger stadium.
About Josh King.
Josh King, yes.
Yes, Josh King.
Well, the thing is that he was a panic move for Man United in the summer. What, you going back to your old stomping ground? Oh, sorry, January. What? Why?
He's 28 years old. So it's quite.
To be honest, I am actually looking forward to this new window coming up in the summer. I'm looking forward to this clear up because I swear to God, if we go into this season with these coming strikers, we're in massive trouble. Us, big trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's another player here. Luke Nicholson's talking about Celtic striker Brendan Rodgers linked with. We're linked with who Brendan Rodgers, both from PSG.
If you can, I don't know who that is. If you can put that in the comments, that would be great, and then I can talk about him.
Let's see.
If you can put that in the comments, Luke, then we'll be able to talk about him. But I don't know who that is at the moment.
I know they've got a decent centre back from the French league, and he's scored goals for them. Like, yeah, he's actually that's. Do you not think that's what's worrying you though this season though, right? Our mid defence are actually scored. They're the ones who scored our goals this season. Imagine if they hadn't chipped in for the goals this season.
Yeah, they scored like 20 goals or something this season, but like complete.
But the thing is, where we at the minute, we're 30th in the league, right? But you take those goals away, right? You take those goals away from the defence or the midfield. Where would we be in the league?
Relegation.
Not where we are. That is my concern going into next season, because like we're strikers. For me, like, how can you be 13th in the league, right? And your strikers not doing like what they're doing, not putting the ball in the net. The reason why we're 13th is for two reasons. The Premier League is absolutely awful on quality, and secondly, we're defenders and that have chipped in for when we needed them.
Luke's saying that Leicester have been linked with him as well.
Who is it?
Leicester.
Who it is?
God,
who is it?
If you let me know who it is, Luke, then we can talk about him.
Yeah, we can find it on the net.
Well, are you saying Leicester being linked with Mike Ashley? Jesus Christ, good luck with that.
What's he called? What's his name?
I have no idea who it is.
He is. If we can find him, Luke. If we know who he is, we can find him for you. Tell the name.
I'd love to know who it is.
You don't know. Carl doesn't know who he is. We don't know who he is ever in the day.
He could be anybody. He could have been from the reserves.
The reserves?
He could be. I have no idea. When he's saying 5 million from PSG, if you're leaving PSG for 5 million, you're not something wrong.
Look on PSG for you. I look on PSG for you. If I can get it on here.
Back here.
He's back. There he is. He's back.
I don't know what's going on with this internet.
It's fine when it happens. It's streams.
Got at Thingy at Milan at PSG.
I want to know who the striker is. If you're leaving PSG for £5 million, you're not a certain matter. They'll have like get rid of players for like loads. I don't even know who it is. Like it could be someone from the reserves. I reckon it's going to be. Who is it?
There's a guy called 19 years old. He's French. He's currently at PSG.
The offence, but Newcastle get linked with French players is actually not new to me. We get linked with every French player going, like from the alphabet. But at one point, we had a full French swing, but actually ended up doing French, did?
Especially when Graham Cole was there.
No, it was literally we ended up doing French. Do I want to do the French national anthem? Like, oh, wait, this is St James's Park, not France.
He's saying his name's Edu.
Oh, Edward. Oh, yeah, Edward. Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good finisher. I'd take him. Yes.
Edu.
Yes, Edward.
I haven't seen him personally, so I wouldn't really know.
I watch the SPL show.
Oh,
I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I watch the SPL show and he's a really good finisher. I know it's the SPL. But,
he's 22 years old.
I'd take him.
Apparently, he joined PSG in 2016.
Oh, by the way, breaking news: Man United have been Man United and they're getting beat.
Let's have a look on here.
They're getting beat off Club Brugge, and Club Brugge haven't beaten Club Brugge haven't beaten a Premier League side in over 10 years, and Man United are just about to break that record. Man United are so bad.
But like, if Man United, if you're a Man United fan, right? Right? Who would
I'll call myself plastic.
Who would you take in the summer? Who would you take from Man United? For what?
None of them. If they can't beat Club Brugge, I'm sorry, but they're not going to be good enough for us.
They're not. If you look at Man United, right, you look at any team in the Premier League, any team you're going to pick up. Look at Sheffield United. They're doing pretty well. They're spending next to nothing.
The thing is, we don't know what our budget is, though, every single summer, every single January window. The thing is, we don't know what we're working with. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's the issue we're having.
They've been talking, I don't believe the papers one bit, like, when they talk about it, but the Chronicle, they've been saying, like, Steve Bruce is going to end up with, like, 80 million. If he does or not,
I wouldn't trust Steve Bruce with a mill, never meant 80 million. I wouldn't trust him with a mill.
I don't think he's going to do much if he did have 80 million, to be honest, because...
Did you see some of the tripe that they were coming out with in the paper with this takeover? Like about a month ago, they were like, "Oh, there's two scenarios. If Steve Bruce was to still be manager with this takeover, you get 500 million to spend. I'm like, I wouldn't even trust him with my life. No, 500 million.
That's like giving Steve McLaren 500 million. And that
was a daft appointment. That was a rushed appointment. That was a cheap rushed appointment since Alan Pardew had left because of anybody else.
Exactly. But that's what always made me wonder about that one, right? Why go and get somebody like Steve McLaren, who's already been manager of Middlesbrough, you know, one of our rivals? Why would you do that? Why would you get somebody like that?
Because we're stupid. That's a problem. But
it's just crazy thinking by Mike Ashley.
In the summer, if we get a player, any player, would you take Lee Griffiths from Celtic?
No.
29-year-old.
No.
Still playing.
No. I suppose he's better than Joe Linton, but like no.
He's done quite well.
That one? I didn't catch the name.
Lee Griffiths.
Griffiths.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't take him. No.
You can keep a hold of Lee Griffiths. Like I'm taking Lee Griffiths. Like
Antonio.
I'll take Danny Ings.
Danny Ings. He won't Lee Griffiths.
Danny Ings not Crystal Palace. He's just Southampton.
Southampton. So he won't leave.
Yeah, man. It was getting to that point where Peter was telling me that we were linked with bloody who was it? Murray from bloody Brighton and the Generals. I'm not taking him.
Oh, I didn't want him.
The thing is, he's basically another slow version of what we had previously.
It's basically the way you can explain Glenn Murray in its sort of a strange way. Glenn Murray is pretty much Harry Kane's dad.
He's basically just told Harry Kane at a young age that there's the net, go finish.
Exactly.
But
that's what Harry Kane's gonna look like when he gets older. Literally.
In this summer, if we do get this Edu, whoever he is, from Celtic.
Well, we're not really.
Would he come here? The Northeast.
If the price is right and we're actually showing ambition, then yeah. Why wouldn't he? Why would anybody not want to join Newcastle?
Exactly.
But the thing is, the one thing I told every player back from signing for Newcastle is Mike Ashley.
Yeah.
If you look at Newcastle, right, why wouldn't you want to join Newcastle? We've got 52,000 seater stadium. You know, we've got probably one of the best histories out of football clubs. We're an absolute sleeping giant of English football.
We just need to win a domestic title, though. Would you win a League Cup or an FA Cup? And that's what I'm saying. In my lifetime, will I ever see Newcastle lift a trophy again? No. In my life, the only two trophies I've seen Newcastle lift are 2 championship titles.
That's all I've ever seen as well.
We could do the FA Cup. We could do the FA Cup. We could do it.
My dad's seen the Fairs Cup, which is like the Europa League, which is basically the Europa League because it's just all it's done is it's just changed its name throughout time. That's all it's done.
I've actually held the bugger, the Fairs Cup.
Hey.
Oh, it is heavy as hell.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what they lift. It's a Europa League title or the Champions League or the Prem. They're heavy titles. But the thing is, they're for heavy players, for like for actual strong players, not for weak shits like Newcastle who can't even fucking string 2 passes together. But give the fucker away.
To win that first cup were hard back in the day is pretty damn good.
But that's what I'm saying. Like since Colour's come out, Newcastle have been absolutely horrendous. Since Colour's been.
Well, I had the club players and the Boston Tenant players.
You know what though, right? I watch a lot of West Ham fan TV. Obviously, I watch Arsenal fan TV. But like, I think Newcastle and West Ham are very like. We're just waiting for that moment for our owners to actually do something. Like they've got that Sullivan, and they've got that state. And by the way, I think they're in a worse off situation because they've gone from Upton Park to like a big massive ground, which I wouldn't be happy in, to be fair. I've been to the Olympic Park once as an away fan. I tell you what, I wouldn't like to sit there every week. It's absolutely horrible.
I think, to be honest, they should have possibly stayed at Upton Park. It was the best ground for them. They were barely filling that one, to be honest, anyway.
It was their home. It was their home and heart. It was their home.
Exactly. So why go and move from Upton Park, where you're barely filling it anyway, to a big stadium like the London Stadium?
It's not for them. The thing is, it's an empty ground. It's an empty. If they don't take it, it's an empty ground. I mean, that the Olympics said, didn't it, in 2012? But what else are we going to do in it? Like, I thought if they couldn't do anything up in Park, right? They should basically maybe moved a little bit, not too far out, but build a stadium that's actually like not out the way of the fans, so the fans can actually get behind the side.
Yeah.
My dad's been there a few times up in Park, and it was an intimidating place. Like if you're an away fan or an away player, like the players are right on top of you. Whereas at the Olympic Park, you're pretty much it feels like you're upstairs. You can't, you know what I mean? You're looking out to the garden. You can't.
I miss Highbury. I miss the Arsenal Old Stadium in Highbury. It's not.
I've been so used to the Emirates, me personally.
The Emirates is good, but like I miss Highbury for Arsenal. That was a good stadium.
I don't think they'd ever do St James's Park up like you would. What's that? Yeah, it's true. it's true, noise, right? Liam's right.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Liam's right. He's spawn. It is. But to be fair, like I could tolerate Gateshead though because they're in the National League, but like West Ham, you're in the Premier League. Thing is, they don't even own that ground. They're basically living there, right, rent free. We are paying their rent every single. Like even us taxpayers, we're paying their rent every single week just to keep that stadium going. Basically, whereas St James's Park, the council obviously own that, but obviously that's paid by them, but it's free funded for them. Free funded.
Exactly. It's what the thing with St James's is the reason why it's such an iconic stadium is the fact that it's obviously one of the oldest stadiums as well.
Sorry, I'm just going to open the back door. 1 second. I am still talking.
It's obviously one of the oldest stadiums as well, being that it's been around way back, like 1800s.
Yeah.
Look at the
so it was like it used to be Newcastle West End Stadium before the East End came in and took. You know what I mean?
Well, if you look at the story though, it was the East End who saved the West End because the West End went bust technically. Because I live in the West End, East End of Newcastle, and we were quite richer than the West End. Yeah. West End I was poor, but then we decided not. We could easily have been rivals with them. We could have been like the Man City now, Man United. You got Man United, Man City. We decided no, we're Newcastle United. Like we're one club. Like you think we're one city. Why should we rival each other? Like we're one club city.
That's why, to me, right? Whenever anybody ever says like, you've got Man United, or there's like on Sky Sports and they go United, and you're like, that's got to be Newcastle United. No, they're talking about Man United, and it's like they say they're the real United. They're not the real United. Newcastle's the real United because it's two teams coming together to make one. Man United was like Newton Heath. On the outside,
you got like Man City as well. You got like Bury. I say you've got Bury. They're gone now. We got like Wigan, Bolton, Blackburn, Burnley. Whereas Newcastle, like, there's nothing really round yet to suggest that no one's rivaling with us out there. Like, you know what I mean? We're just like we're one big city in the town centre. We're stadium like in the middle of it, and that's what we are.
But you look back at the photos of the old stadium. You look at it now; it looks pretty different to then.
We're gone again, I think. Did we? You're there, Sharky?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I'm just I exited the screen. I'm coming back. 1 second. Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm not gone. So,
I was wondering what was going on there.
I'm just checking out how my video's getting on. I've checked it for a while. So I started with 8 likes.
As a fan thought, you look back the Castelletti pictures from the olden day the stadium was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My dad was there when it was like one step. But the thing is, you've got to get with the times, though. That's a problem. Got to get with the times. But the thing is, what's the point of getting with the times? We're not with the times. But Mike Ashley's like a back in the day owner. We don't need money.
Exactly.
We've got the stadium, but Mike Ashley's not with the times. It's like spend as little as possible.
If you want to take Mike Ashley, this is the thing with Mike Ashley, right? He's got billions. When he first bought the club, right? I think I'm right in saying that he didn't have billions when he first bought the club. He was. You
would have had something to buy Newcastle because you would have had to pass the proper person's test in the Premier League. You would have had to pass it.
He was only in like the millions, like the high millions, close to the billions.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. The TV in the Premier League's made him richer. I agree with that. Totally.
And from that moment, right, he came in at our club. Something seemed off about him, you know.
I said it from day one. I said it was the minute he took over.
Right then, you could say that he wasn't going to be the owner that we need. You know, I think, right, not getting big-headed or anything like that, you know, because obviously a lot of people say that us Newcastle fans are very deluded, you know, and we're big-headed in that. But you know, not being big-headed, but you look at Newcastle, right, and we've got one of the best fan bases in the world.
Yeah.
We're the best fans in the world. We attend games in absolute droves. You can go down to the Championship, right, and look at the Championship stats for attendances. We're sold out pretty much every single game in the Championship. And then, you know, you look at Mike Ashley being the owner, and the owner doesn't fit to what the club is. You know, we should be like the PIF. That is the perfect owner for Newcastle. Somebody that is going to be able to come in, pockets deeper than anybody else in the world, and be able to just completely plough as much money as they wanted.
The thing is, you look at what training facilities as well. They're absolutely shit. Like, we've got the stadium, but there were, at one point there were wheelie bins, paddling pools. Like, what's all that about with the Premier League? Like, you've got League One sides with like, you know, saunas and all that. I'm not saying we haven't got any of that, but like, we're using paddling pools and wheelie bins. Do you remember that Newcastle United 24/7 thing? And you see the Sissoko going down the wheelie bin.
Aye.
It's like, look at Liverpool, right? Look at what Liverpool's done recently, right? They've just gotten their new training ground. You've got Leicester, they've just built a new training ground. West Brom, they've got training grounds that are better than ours. They're in the Championship.
Sunderland as well.
Exactly.
I'm not just saying that, like Sunderland legit have got like good stuff, like they've got like good economy.
Exactly. And it's like, for a club of Newcastle's stature, we should have like training facilities that are absolutely above the rest.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what makes me laugh. Like, all the money that comes into the club, like from the Premier League, the TV rights, and the pockets of the fans and whatnot. Like, why is it taking till now for them to do the investment around the ground? Like, that for me, that should have been done years ago. I don't buy we have no money, because he's did. He's just he just decided to go and spend it at the Bandits, or go and spend it wherever, not spend it on the real matters, which is the football club and the health of the club. Because the thing is, even though he's done all that stuff outside, I still think we're deteriorating under Mike Ashley. We are like, it's a sorry act, and that just thing is, Mike Ashley. People say, "Will Mike Ashley ever win you over?" Mike Ashley will never ever win me over, ever. We could win a title, right? But you'll never win us over because of what's happened in the past.
That's the worrying factor for me, is when you look at like Mike Ashley being the owner, right? Even if we get rid of him, right, and he goes, and new owner comes in, and will eventually win something, right? They'll say, it's Simon Jordan. He always does. He's always on Twitter.
He's on prick him.
Yeah,
and
he straight away, Richard Keys, hairy hands. They'll all be there. His little minions, all saying, "Oh, yeah, and he won it because Mike Ashley's building up in the background and all this shit."
Mike Ashley's built for goal. He's done nothing.
Exactly.
Mike Ashley's done nothing.
We know that, but his minions will completely spin the yarn, make everybody believe that was Mike Ashley.
Simon Jordan does it with everybody. Like, everything that goes wrong, he likes to pick all the negatives of any club. Like, he picked on Robbie, you'll pick on Newcastle, you'll pick on Man United, just because he failed at Crystal Palace's owner doesn't mean he has to put everyone else to.
But that's the thing with him. That's the thing what always annoys you about Simon Jordan is he's a Crystal Palace fan, right? He's always been a Crystal Palace fan, boyhood Crystal Palace fan he's been, right? And he got the chance to own his boyhood club, right? It's not Newcastle fans' fault. It's not Arsenal fans' fault. It's nobody's fault, right? That he messed up so badly in owning that club that he had to sell that club off to somebody else.
Yeah.
Where does he get the right to sit in a Talk Sports studio getting paid, right, to badmouth football fans and fans like us, right, who sit on YouTube and do videos? What are we doing different that he's doing in the Talk Sports studio? It's the same sort of thing, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Like, the way I do YouTube, like, is I'm not even bothered what he says or anybody else says. I just say it as it is, and if someone's not happy about it, then that's not my problem. At the end of the day, like, that's their problem. That's something that they're gonna have to swallow over, because I'm not going to change an opinion of somebody else. Like, I'll say it as it is. If they're not happy about it, then screw them. Screw them all. Like, honestly, like, at the end of the day, people like Simon Jordan, right? I've got no time for, because he doesn't come out with anything positive. There's nothing you can say like, actually, you know what? He talks sense, because it's a total opposite. And like, you think
with Rob from Auto TV, he came out and bullied him. He bullied. He said it. Rob said it's YouTube. Everyone does it for a living. It's low football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, we're all Newcastle supporters, we're all YouTubers and stuff, but there'll be some videos where we agree with each other, and there'll be some videos where we disagree with each other, but it'll never turn into anything personal. Yeah. It'll just be constructive. Like, when you say constructive criticism, that's not the right word. It'll be like sort of just like saying, well, actually, I disagree with that, but it doesn't mean we hate each other. We all have different opinions. We're all fans at the end of the day, right? We all want the same thing, which is to be successful. But in Mike Jordan's little world, it's all a case of, actually, I'm trying to hide away the failures of what he did at Crystal Palace. That's exactly what he's doing. And he's blaming people like Robbie because they've got over 1 million subscribers, which I think at the end of the day, he deserves that, because he is it's about the voice of the fans. That's what it's about. It's about the fans coming together as one and voicing their opinions, because the clubs need to realise it's not just about you. We all your money and all this, that, and the about your news. It's about the fans who actually pay their money week in, week out to go and see the games. We also have an opinion as well. And if you was unhappy about it, right? Well, I'm sorry, but you're very close to losing fans.
Yeah. But that's the thing that you've got to look at with football, right? It's a very opinionated sport. Everybody's got an opinion about it, you know. And then also, like you said, it's a fan sport. Without the fans, you can't have football. You can't have 11 men going out there on a pitch, right, for each side, playing a game of football with nobody in the stadium. It would just be
any money. There'd be no money. They'll be played for free.
Yeah. It would be absolutely ridiculous. It'd be like literally me, you, and Jay, and a bunch of other lads going to the park and having a kickabout, and then some Sky Sports camera coming along and like recording it.
The reason why I think Simon Jordan also isn't happy, and I don't want to speak for TalkSport and I don't want to talk for the radio. You know, fair enough. I understand the radio shows. That's what they're there for. Like, they'll talk. They'll get fans on after a game. Like, what do you think about Newcastle, or what do you think about Sunderland, or whatever, right? But now that there's fan channels on YouTube and YouTube's starting to take over the radio, they aren't happy about it, because fans are having their say live on a camera, whereas they wouldn't maybe have that say on the radio because there's that many people that ring up.
Exactly.
And do you know what? The thing is, sometimes, you know what, right? Even if you talk by yourself, right? They're not necessarily talking to a mate or to another YouTuber. To see, we all have our own YouTube channels, right? If we do our own reviews, previews, etc., right? People can comment, so you're still talking to people, but like, people are still having their say in the comments. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas on the radio, you wouldn't get that. Like, you wouldn't even get your name mentioned out on the radio because everybody else is doing it on the TV. The same thing on Match of the Day. When do they ever come out and read a fan's opinions? No. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't get like that. You don't get many things where the fans actually get to have their opinion viewed. You know, like that's the big point with Ashley and Charnley in Newcastle.
It's all about them. That's why the thing is, it's all about them. That's why we've got these channels out, right? So, like, just say for example, right, you've got Newcastle Fans TV, you've got the Magpie channel, right? They all like have their say at the end of the game. They get fans on, right? But this is why we do this. This is why we, all three of us, are talking now, because not everybody can go to the game, right? Because they've got their own reasons why they can't go. Yeah. And you can't always go on the radio to voice your opinion about a certain game, because everybody wants to get on if different supporters of different clubs. We can do this now. We could talk as fans like about our club that was support. If people in the background watching your stream right now can join in the comments. Yeah. That's what it's about. That's me. I love it.
So, like, basically, that's exactly it. It's like you never get to say your point over to anybody. Like, you can't walk up to St. James's Park, walk into the lift, go up and knock on Mike Ashley's door and go, yeah, Mike, I want to have a word. You know, because that isn't the way it would work. You would never get anywhere close to him. And if you did get close to him, you know, you wouldn't be wanting to have a word, would you? You know what I mean?
The thing is, though, that's why we've got channels, right? Because if you look at this way, right, what am I going to say? Like, you can't. Like, the thing is, the way I look at it, right, we'll have fan channels because the club just think it's all about them. It's all about their news, what they say to the public, and that's what stands out. It doesn't. That's why we do YouTube. It doesn't always stand like that.
the day, right, if I didn't have YouTube right now,
You're back, yeah?
If I didn't
I
have
would say, what said you? Go on, Jake. Go on.
I won't be here today. But the
That's
support.
what I'm saying. We wouldn't be talking to each other. Because the way I look at it, right, YouTube, right, you think about it, it gives you the platform to say what you want whenever you want, right? In the clubs, doesn't matter who you support. Newcastle, for example, might just think whatever news we send out on the internet, that's what we say. It stands. It doesn't. We are supporters. We may have a different opinion on what the club have said. So, say for example, Steve Bruce, Mike Ashley, Lee Charnley, they may break a news story and say this is what we believe in. Yeah, that comes from our club, but the fans of that club may not agree. So we go on YouTube and express what we're feeling.
You look at like
go on, Jay.
You look at non-league football, like Gateshead, Blythe, Benetton Terriers. You got like, I got a channel for Benetton Terriers. I just started like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I handed a video over 2 weeks because we've been playing. You look at non-league football, like Gateshead, Benetton, Blythe. You got all them lot out there. Motive Town. You got Sheffield. You got like no Shields. You got all them. They haven't
talking of Blythe, I'm actually at Blythe Spartans next week. I'm going to Blythe against Newcastle.
They've got like Benetton Tyrells. You got okay.
So like basically, right? To be honest, if you look at it, right, like Talk Sport, right, they do a good show. You know, they're not that bad. Fair enough, they've got an opinion. At the end of the day, everybody has an opinion. They come on and say what they want to say, right? Mm-hmm. But you look at the one when they were talking, I think it was Ray Paula or something like that they had on Talk Sport when they were talking about Robbie's channel. And, you know, he was saying, why didn't he come out and talk about when he was playing in that? But YouTube wasn't around when Ray Paula was playing, you know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they need to understand. That's why we're given that thing is, times have changed though. Like, you know what I mean? Modern day technology. People have got access to literally anything these days.
I think like YouTube only
it's
came
free.
around.
Like YouTube, you don't get charged to use it. You know what I mean? Like, we're given the thing is back then, like Neon was doing like fan cams, previews. You might get the odd person that maybe was doing it, but it wouldn't have been along the same line, the same quality. You know what I mean? Like, you think now YouTube will continue to get bigger and bigger? By the way, I don't live off YouTube. I just come on, to voice my opinion. That's all I do.
It's like if you look at some of the YouTube channels, like you've got Arsenal Fans TV, right? That's like the pinnacle for fan TV channels. They're absolutely huge. Literally everybody knows them. And then you've got like Newcastle Fans TV, you know, Lee's channel, and they've only got like 20k subscribers compared to like Arsenal TV, who's got like millions of subscribers. You know, not down in Lee's channel, but that just shows you the difference between a club like Arsenal, who's in like the top 6, into a club like Newcastle, and that alone shows you what Mike Ashley as an owner has done to the club. You know, because our fan base on the fan channels can't be high on the subs is awesome.
By the way, Lee being on 20k, I think that's quite good, because I think what he does is very good. But like you look at Robbie, who had obviously been around a while, but then if you look at if you look at like Arsenal, the name, the fan base that they've got compared to what we've got, Arsenal have got a worldwide fan base, like more than what we've got. We've got a good fan base, but that's why they get all the subscribers that they do, because of their past, their history, and obviously the arguments and all that stuff, you know, the ranting and stuff. But if you look at what Lee does, I think he works ever so hard, like with what he's got, because you look at Newcastle, we aren't Arsenal, do you know what I mean? Like, we're just a mediocre mid-table side, bottom of the league, and then I think for Lee to get 20k, I think it's good. We won't pull in the figures that they like of an Arsenal or a Man City or a Liverpool fan channel would, because they're getting like European games. They're also getting like they're getting better signings in, better things, gain you more views, more subscribers. Yeah. And that's the downside with Newcastle. It's just the same old news every single week. Do you know what I mean? That's why I would never like belittle anybody's channel. I just think everybody's sort of like, everybody goes at their own pace. You know what I mean?
Oh, don't get us wrong. I'm not belittling the League's
channel.
No,
I know what you mean. No. I'm just saying, I think I'm drawing a comparison on like the club sizes. Like, you look at like if you're a Man City Fan TV, for example, right? They get a lot of subscribers because of what they've got, like money, players, Champions League. Premier League, winning things, go to Wembley. Whereas Newcastle, it's literally just like get beat off Burnley, don't do anything, and then people kind of be bothered with that. Like people are more interested in watching the bigger channels because they're doing better in the league. They're not going to watch a mediocre Premier League side. That's the problem.
It's like that's something that I realised quite a bit when like the BZJ talk was going on for them wanting to take over, because when that talk started up, the channel was like I think it was about 265 subs or something like that.
Yeah,
and then that talk came and it started like jumping up the subs. So it's like obviously the talk of them wanting to take over, and obviously the aspect of what they thought was going to happen in the fact that we might have turned into like Man City or something like that. Obviously, you are getting more fans
because it's a big story, it's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like people legit think it's going to happen, but then when it goes back to reality again, we're just this typical same old Newcastle mid-table side. Nobody's interested. People are only interested if we ever go on an FA Cup run or a League Cup run, or we do something out the blue. But people will watch like a Chelsea or a Tottenham or any sort of TV that are high up because they gain more subs in terms of where they are and where they're positioned. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you're one of them YouTubers that every single day puts out a story of like, say for example, Newcastle's going to get bought out, and they're not. People just watch it for no reason. But they'll hate you. They'll hate you in the long run, but they'll understand like why they've done it.
Right, let's read some of these comments down the side. We've got Liam NUFC saying about if West Ham go down, I think they will end up like QPR or something. I will say the same about us, but I don't think we will go down.
Guys, I'm going to leave you two in the stream. I need to go now. I'm going to walk the dog. He's went for a walk.
Problem,
okay.
No problem.
Thanks for letting us in your stream, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for
problem. See you, Sharky.
See you soon, man. Enjoy the rest of the stream, man. Take it easy.
So, what do you make of that?
West Ham will go down, but if they go down, but I don't think they could be all like they've got a big stadium. You know what I mean? Big stadium, the life.
It's a strange one. It is. It really is. Let's look at this other comment by Liam again. In your opinion, do you think the only way Ashley will go if we end up like Blackburn or something?
No.
To be honest, I don't think. Yes, Ashley probably would go if we went down and we were playing in the Championship. You know, he might. But then again, you know, with the way things are in the last few times we've been down, you know, we have shot up quite quickly. So I would have to say maybe on that one, to be honest. One by Luke again. This time, Luke's saying, Bruce, to get 80 million to spend in the summer, is that enough? What do you think, Jay? Do you think that's enough for Steve Bruce to spend in the summer? To be honest, you know, I wouldn't.
I reckon a bit more.
How much?
I would say about 100 million we need to spend in the summer.
100 million, but would you give it a Bruce?
No, if Bruce stays 80, if Bruce goes, get someone else.
Get someone else. Then we've got David saying Ashley out. Exactly. Definitely on that one.
It's like one say that more people watch don't support Arsenal. Yeah, it's true.
Yep, definitely on that one. Mike Ashley, definitely not allowed to keep the stadium if West Ham go down.
True.
Yeah, I don't think they would be allowed to keep the stadium, in my opinion. To be honest, I think that would be a bit too big of a stadium. It would be going down in the Championship. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, same thing as Joe. I haven't. Yeah, we're all like a stadium. I have to see him.
Well, I think we'll finish the stream off here for tonight, and I'd like to thank Jay for coming on to the channel.
Anytime.
Thanks for coming on, mate. And I'd also like to thank Sharky as well for coming on the channel. Please go and subscribe to their channels. 100% NUFC and NUFC Talk for J, 100% NUFC for Sharky. My channel, of course, 100% Mags. Remember, like and subscribe as well to the channel. On the road to 300 subscribers.
The road to 200 as well. 200.
Yep, and Jay is on the road to 200 as well. Also, make sure to subscribe, like I say, NUFC, 100% NUFC, Sharky's channel. He's at 2.5k. So make sure to go over and subscribe there as well. And I'll see you all next time. How are the lads?
How are the lads?